Good morning, boys and girls. I hope you are well. You're keeping safe. Candidates, today I'm talking to you. You are lucky that I'm talking to you today to help you revise and prepare for the examination. Whichever time it will come, you will be ready to do it. You're keeping safe in the house, you're washing your hands, sanitizing, you're wearing masks, and you're not loitering around. Um, Today, I want us to talk about commission. Commission, and I have some questions prepared here. I will explain, and then you will be able to understand and follow up. Yeah? All right. To introduce our lessons, I would like us to mention the first perfect squares. The first perfect squares. Let us go together. The first perfect squares. 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100. Those are first perfect squares. So when I mention, you are supposed to have known what do we multiply by what to get the number I have mentioned, a perfect square. Once again, let's repeat. 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100. Those are the first perfect squares for the first 1 to 10 numbers. Thank you so much. Welcome to our maths lesson. We are learning about commission. I have endeavored to explain what commission is. And commission is a fee that is paid for a service that is offered or rendered. Now, if you do for me something, or you sell for me a land, or you sell for me a vehicle, you sell for me anything, and then when you bring the money to me, I decide a certain percentage from that money and give you to reward you for the good work you've done. That is commission. Now, I've explained here, it's a fee for a certain offered. It is a percentage of the sales that have been obtained. There are some used in commission, and you will be meeting them in various questions. Go on discuss commission in shillings. Commission in shillings. Then there is percentage commission, a percentage of the total sales. There is total sales or value of goods sold. Then there is target sales. Target sales. There is commission sales. There is salary. There is salary, and then there is total earnings. Total earnings. These are some of the terms you're going to encounter as we do what you call commission. I hope you've understood. Again, I request you to play this video again and again. Stop, forward, zoom, so that you can be able to understand the part that you want. Thank you. Question number 1 on the teacher's examples. I have several teacher's examples here. Question number 1, it reads, the salesman is paid 15% of the goods he sells for his company. If he sold goods worth 120,000 shillings, how much did he earn as commission? I repeat the question. A salesman is paid 15% commission on the goods he sells for his company. If he sold goods worth 120,000 shillings, how much did he earn as commission? They want us to get commission, right? Here, I have written the formula. Commission in shillings, that's what they are asking for, is equals to percentage commission multiplied by sales. Percentage commission multiplied by sales. So let's look here. We are told that he was paid 15% as commission, and that is percentage commission. So you take 15%. 15% is the same as 15 over 100 multiplied by total sales. The total sales is 120,000 shillings. 120,000 shillings. That is the total sales. So we want to work out boys and girls. Now, remember, this is a fraction and this is a whole number, and you must make them similar so that you can carry out the operation. And so we put 120 over 1 to make it a fraction too, so that you can cancel. So the 2 zeros here will cancel the 2 zeros from the end, right? Now we remain with 15 multiplied by 1,200. 15 multiplied by 1,200 shillings. 15 multiplied by 1,200 shillings. You can see that there. Now, when you multiply, let's multiply from here. We take 15 times 1,200. So 1,200, it's a larger number, multiplied by 15. 5 multiplied by 0. Anyone who has a solution? 5 multiplied by 0. Yes? Moses? Yes, thank you. 5 multiplied by 0 is 0. Remember, there are 2 zeros here. So you write 5 multiplied by 0 is 0. And the second one is also 0. What is 5 multiplied by 2? What is 5 multiplied by 2? Yes, Gitama? Yes, correct. 5 multiplied by 2 is 10. So we write 0 and carry 1. What is 5 multiplied by 1? 5 multiplied by 1 plus 1. Takashi? Correct. That is 6. That is 6. Now, we have finished with 5. We put a 0 there. Then we begin our multiplication by 1. What is 1 multiplied by any number? Kebata, Ryan. 1 multiplied by any number is that number. Correct, Kebata. So 1 times 0 is 0. 1 multiplied by 0 is 0. 1 multiplied by 2 is 2. 1 multiplied by 1 is 1. So we add 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. What is 6 plus 2? What is 6 plus 2? Ryan Goshu. Correct. Ryan is correct. 6 plus 2 is 8. So you write there 8. And then this is 1 automatically. So our answer is 18,000 shillings. Our answer is 18,000 shillings. 18,000 shillings is our answer. Remember to underline after you have worked out correctly. Remember to underline. Thank you. That is correct. Let's go again through the steps. The question is asking us to find commission and shillings. And the formula is here. Remember, anything, any sum that requires you to write a formula, you need to write a formula. The formula will give you the direction on how to do it. And so commission in shillings is equal to percentage commission multiplied by sales. Percentage commission multiplied by sales. Then from the question, we have percentage commission as 15%. And we say 15% is the same as 15 over 100. Sales is given here 120,000 shillings. And so because 120,000 shillings is a whole number, we put it over 1 to make it the same as this one. So we need to deal with fractions. Then we have cancelled the 2 zeros here on this denominator and on that numerator, right? Then we have multiplied 15 times 1,200 shillings. And what you have got is 18,000 shillings. I hope you've understood. That is the calculation there. Teacher's example number 2, boys and girls. Teacher's example number 2. A sales lady earns a monthly salary of 15,000 shillings plus a 20% commission on goods that she sells. In a month, she sold goods worth 100,000 shillings. What was her total earnings? So we want to underline certain special features in this question. We are underlining the salary. We are underlining the commission, and we are underlining the sales. Very good. And so the question is that way. The steps are here. Total earning is equal to salary plus commission. Total earnings equals to salary plus commission. That is the formula. In this question, we do not have commission in shillings. And so step one, boys and girls, we must find commission in shillings. Commission in shillings. We refer to the formula of finding commission in shillings here. Percentage commission multiplied by sales. Percentage commission multiplied by sales. Boys and girls, I hope you understand. Master this formula because you're going to be able to use them in the examination. And so, what is our percentage commission? Our percentage commission is 20%. And 20% is the same as 20 all over 100. Multiplied by the sales. Our sales here is 100,000 shillings. 100,000 shillings. Boys and girls, here we are dealing with a fraction and a whole number. We need to make them look the same. And so that we deal with only fraction, we make 100,000 a fraction by putting it over 1. Remember, we can't put it over 2 or any other number, because when you put it over 2 or any other number, it will bring a difference. But when you put 1, it does not change 100,000. So we cancel the 2 zeros from this denominator and the 2 zeros from the end on this numerator. What are we left with, boys and girls? Here we are left with 20 multiplied by 1,000 shillings. We are left with 20 multiplied by 1,000 shillings. When we multiply 20 by 1,000 shillings, I would like Tyrese to tell me what we do. Yes, Tyrese? Correct. Tyrese is correct. When you multiply 20 by 1,000 shillings, we write 2 and we write 20 and add the 2 zeros, the 3 zeros from the 1,000. So the answer would be to 20,000 shillings. That is commission in shillings. That's commission in shillings. The question asks, what was her total earnings? Total earnings, as we have seen there, the formula is there, salary plus commission. So we come here and say total earnings would be the salary. What is the salary? 15,000 shillings plus the commission, sorry, I forgot that, 20,000 shillings. And so we add 15,000 plus 20,000. Pauline, what do you get when you add 15,000 plus 20,000? Correct, Pauline. Clap for Pauline. She got it right. It is 35,000 shillings. So her total earning is 35,000 shillings. We underline with a straight line to differentiate between this number and the other number that is coming. Thank you. That marks the end to that number. Now, let's go through it again. The question, as we read, we have been given the salary at the end of the month and the commission. Remember, it's plus the commission. Then we are given the total sales there. And then we know that this is how to find the total earnings. The formula is total earnings is equals to salary plus commission in shillings. Remember, we don't have commission in shillings. So that is another task. We find commission in shillings using this formula. Commission in shillings is equals to percentage commission multiplied by sales. Percentage commission is 20%, as given here, multiplied by total sales 100,000 shillings, as given in the question. Remember, 20% is the same as 20 over 100, multiplied by 100,000 shillings. We cancel the two zeros and the two zeros there. Then we multiply 20 by 1,000 shillings. So commission in shillings is 20,000. Remember that you have not been asked to find commission in shillings. So we find the total earnings, because the question wants us to find what was her total earning that month. So we add the commission to the salary, and we find that she earned 35,000 shillings. She went out with a big loot of money. Thank you. Now, my next example, I've extracted a question from Kcpe 2020. Question number 34. Question number 34 in Kcpe 2020 about commission. A salesman is paid a salary of 5,000 shillings per month. He is also paid a 2.5% commission on the sales above 100,000 shillings. I'll come to tell you about that. If the salesman sold goods worth 500,000 shillings in a certain month, what was his total earnings? They're still asking for total earnings. And I want us to break down the question. So here we have the salary, we're given the percentage commission, and we're given the sales above 100,000 shillings, and we're given total sales. We want to see how all this that we are given contributes to our getting the right answer. Now let's look here. In a Kcpe question, boys and girls, you must be very keen. And this is the direction I want you to take. when you are tackling a Kcpe question, especially a word number problem like this one, you must collect data from the question. Collect data from the question. I have endeavored to collect the data here. What we are given in the question is called data. So we are given salary of 5,000 shillings. We are given commission, percentage commission of 2.5%. We are given target sales. I said I would tell you this. Target sales. When you see sales above, this is the money that the dealer, the owner of the business is targeting this amount of money. When you sell this amount of money, the whole sum of money will go to the dealer, the businessman. So the salesman will not have a commission. But if he sells anything above this, now we will negotiate on anything above this. That's why we call it target sales. Then you've got total salary. This salary, you're given salary. Total sales, sorry, boys and girls, this is supposed to be total sales, not salary. Sorry, allow me to rub there. It's supposed to be total sales. Total sales. Total sales as given in the question is 500,000 shillings. So we have three things that are very important and we are not given: commission sales, commission in shillings, and total earnings. These ones are very important. I have divided my question in 3 steps. In the first step, boys and girls, in the first step, we are finding commission sales. And I've given you the formula there. Commission sales equals to total sales minus target sales. I hope you are understanding and following me step by step. Don't let anything distract your attention. And so commission sales is equals to total sales minus target sales. Remember, I told you what target sales are. So total sales here are 500,000 shillings. That's total sales. Target sales here. Target sales here is 100,000. 100,000 shillings. So what do we get when we subtract 500,000 minus 100,000? Clara? Correct? We will get 400,000 shillings. We will get 400,000 shillings. So it is this 400,000 shillings that is called commission sales. Now, why is it called commission sales? Because it's from these commission sales we will calculate the commission. In this case, where we are given sales above, we calculate commission from the commission sales, the difference between total sales and target sales. So it's from there we'll calculate the commission sales. Now, find the commission in shillings. So commission in shillings is equals percentage commission multiplied by commission sales. I want you to understand the difference between this question here. Here we are multiplying by total sales, but here we are multiplying by commission sales. The two questions are different because of their structure and what is provided. Remember, we make a formula depending on what we are given. And so here we calculate. So percentage commission is 2.5%. 2.5 over 100 times commission sales, 400,000 shillings. Again, we make this one a fraction by putting it over 1. Now, we cancel the 2 zeros on this denominator and the 2 zeros on this numerator. We remain with 2.5 multiplied by 4,000. That's what we remain with. 2.5 multiplied by 4,000 shillings. Now let us multiply it here. 2.5, we convert it into a fraction. 25 over 10 multiplied by 4,000 over 1. Look at that. That 0 cancels that 0. Then we have 25 multiplied by 400. Look at this. 25 multiplied by 400. I hope you are getting that. Yes? So 4 times 0 is 0, 0. 4 times 5. 4 times 5. Mary. 4 times 5 is 20. Thank you. And so 4 times 5 is 20. We are writing 0 and carrying 2. Michelle, what is 4 times 2? Plus 2. What is 4 times 2? Plus 2, Michelle. 4 times 2 plus 2 is 10. Thank you. So we have 10,000. We have 10,000 shillings. So the answer here would be 10,000 shillings. 10,000 shillings. So 10,000 shillings is the commission sales. The commission sales. Then we come to the final step. Find the total earnings. Find the total earnings. Total earnings is equal to salary plus commission. Total earnings is equal to salary plus commission. And so, what is the salary? We go back to our data. Salary is 5,000 shillings. So we come and say it is 5,000 shillings. 5,000 shillings. Plus commission sales 10,000 shillings. When we add 5,000 plus 10,000 shillings, what do we get? What do we get when we add 5,000 plus 10,000 shillings? Yes, Okudo? Very well. Clap for Okudo. The answer is 15,000 shillings. The answer is 15,000 shillings. Boys and girls, that will be our final answer. But before we settle for the final answer, we go back to the question. What was his total earnings? That was the question. Did we find the total earnings? Correct. We have found the total earnings. Now, after finding the final answer, you go to the question paper. You go to the question paper. Question paper, Kcpe 2010. Kcpe 2010, number 34. You got the answer is C. 15,000. 15,000. You circle the right answer. Circle the right answer. And then you cross it directly on the answer sheet. Be keen that you are crossing on the right number and the right choice. I hope you understood. Allow me to go through the main points of this question. Remember, it's a word number problem that has a lot of information. And so for us to understand it mathematically, we must break it down. And how do we break it down? By collecting information or data from it. We have in the question been given the salary, the commission, percentage commission. We have been given target sales. We have been given total sales. We don't have commission sales, which is a very important part of the question. We don't have commission in shillings, which is also a very important part of the question. And the total earnings, that is the final one. So as you arrange the data, know that you need to finish, after the data, you finish by putting the tasks involved. 3 tasks. The 3 tasks are the 3 steps that we're going to follow to get the right answer. I hope you have understood that. And so, the first step was to find commission sales, which we found there. The second step was to find the commission in shillings. We found it there. And the third step was to find the total earnings, and we found it there. And we have the right answer. Boys and girls, allow me to give you some of the questions that would be set from this paper. Now, if we check on Kcpe 2012 and 2003, 2012 number 17 and 2003 number 9, the question is asking, the final question is asking you to find percentage commission, to find percentage commission. In 2010, like this one we extracted from 2010, number 34, such a question is asking total earnings. In Kcpe 2008, number 13 is also asking you to find total earnings. 2011, number 43, 2013, number 24, 2009, number 33, 2015, number 19 are all asking us to find total sales. Are all asking us to find total sales. If you can grab those papers, please attempt those questions. 2014, they're asking us to find the selling price. Selling price. There is a commission given there. Boys and girls, for today, I rest my case. I hope you've understood. Again, I ask and request you to stop, to zoom, to forward, and to rewind for you to be able to understand a specific part of my lesson today. I'm so happy to have taught you today. I pray that you will understand. God will give you a broad scope of understanding. Thank you. God bless you. Bye.